Hello, sixth graders, and welcome to your next science lesson. I had some technical difficulties today, so I'm uploading this a little later than I normally will. So just bear with me. I'm so glad you found it, and we're going to start our science lesson. So as I mentioned today on the Zoom, you will be having 2 tabs up for this lesson, okay? So if you haven't done so, make sure to do that now. What you need to have up is your digital science notebook as a tab. That was on your PowerPoint through your Office 365 email. And you're going to have this video up as well, which you have up because you are signed on and watching me now. So awesome job. So have those 2 tabs up and we're going to begin, okay? What we're going to do is read through our textbook together, kind of like a read aloud like we would at school. Read our textbook together. And then I'm going to have a few questions pop into this video. And then you're going to write your 3 vocab words for the day and your wow statement. So let's get started. All right, so we are going to need to switch this. Okay, bear with me, friends. Let's figure out, we need to, you guys are upside down, so we gotta, Hooray, we figured it out, friends. All right. Okay. This is our science textbook, and you should have a download copy, but we are going to use this together today, so you don't even need to worry about it. Just watch this video. All right, so we're starting with lesson 1, and it's all about climate change. What that is, what it means, and some examples, okay? We're going to start off with this video, with this story. So you can listen, and I want you to follow along to the words, okay? Because a question is going to pop up, and these questions, some are very simple, and I am just adding them in to make sure that you are paying attention, okay? So make sure we're listening, and let's get started. I'm going to read this story, and then we're going to talk about it. Hey, how about a little one-on-one basketball after school today? Scott asked Markel as they walked to class. I'm up for it, Markel said, but I don't think this sun is going to last. What do you mean? This morning, the meteorologist on Channel 5 predicted afternoon thunderstorms, said Markel. Scott looked out the window. Really? It's sure sunny now. Yeah, but she says it's going to change, said Markel, and we've been having storms all week. I know. I was just hoping that today would be different. Rain really puts a damper on my practicing my 3-point shot, said Scott. Do you remember last year being like this? Asked Markel. I don't think it was so rainy. The weather was so good that we could practice every day. I don't remember, said Scott, but I do know that next afternoon the sun is out. I'll see you on the courts. All right, so when you see this post-it that I'm about to put on the screen, that means you're going to have a question to answer. So a question is going to pop up. Weather affects what you wear, what you do every day, and even how you get from place to place. Climate affects broader conditions, such as which sports you can play in the winter, whether your house needs air conditioning, and which plants and animals live in your area. So remember from our video, I'm going to ask a question that is following up with the video that we had the other day. On this page, we are going to talk about an example of climate change. Turn my light on. Ooh, that looks awesome. Awesome. Okay. We're going to talk about an example of climate change. Okay. I think I want to take. There you can see the whole page now. Okay. The example that you can see that the textbook uses about climate change is talking all about this animal. This animal is a woolly mammoth, and from this reading up here, I am able to tell you that this animal is found in Asia, Europe, and North America. Okay? It also tells me that this animal, the woolly mammoth, is well suited to cold environments. Okay? What that means is that this animal survives in cold climates and cold weather. Okay? What this talks about is explaining to us that something might happen to this animal if weather becomes warm and if climate becomes warm. If this animal can only live in cold weather, what do you think will happen if the woolly mammoth is in warm weather and warm climate? So hoping you are able to answer that correctly, but the answer is a woolly mammoth cannot survive in warm weather. And in Asia, Europe, and North America, scientists were able to see that climate change changed the climate over years and years and years, 40,000 to be exact, which created issues for our woolly mammoths. So what happened is that the climate went from cold to warm, but the woolly mammoths can only survive in cold weather, which means that the woolly mammoth died. Okay? They cannot live in warm weather. Here's some data that we're able to show evidence that this is true. Okay? So here's a map. There's actually several maps. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 maps. This is all the data that we're going to look at now. Let me explain a little bit about this data. From these pictures, we are able to learn a few things. Some things I want to tell you. The green areas show where it was suitable for woolly mammoths to live and survive. Okay? And as you can see, over time, the green lessens. So over time, there's less space for the woolly mammoths to live in, which means that they ended up dying. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question to you now about what the green on the pictures symbolize. Okay? Okay, so we're able to see that through all these years and all this time, this is long ago, this is the most recent, that there's less green, which means there's less space for woolly mammoths to live. So unfortunately, it's so sad, but woolly mammoths ended up dying because the climate changed from cold to warm, so they were not able to survive anymore. In this unit, you will investigate evidence for climate change. Evidence is factual information or data to support or refute a claim. That's one of our vocab words. To make sense of the evidence, you will need to develop a deeper understanding of weather and climate and how they are related. In this activity, you will begin to do that by asking questions about climate change, okay? As you move through this unit, you will seek and find answers to your questions. So we're going to go back. I'll tell you what vocab words mean. We'll do that in a little bit. Now I'm going to share with you our next activity, okay? We're going to do this activity, but virtually, okay? So I'm not going to read this out to you. We're just going to look at number 6, okay? Number 6 is an important question we're going to all answer. Okay, so this page has a bunch of different examples of how climate can affect people's lives. Because we know from here, climate affects the woolly mammoth's lives because the climate changed temperature over time and the woolly mammoths could not survive and they died. Okay, so that's how climate change affected woolly mammoths. Now we're going to look at other examples. Okay, now I'm just going to have to pick one out. We're not going to do all 4. I think I'm going to do this one. Okay, while we're reading the story, this little paragraph, I want you to keep in mind, how do you think the story could be related to climate change? Down here. How do you think this story could be related to climate change? That's our big question for today. All right, let's look at this story. I'm curious to see what you guys see as soon as you look into this photo. I hope you're kind of shouting out answers at your laptop right now, but I see beautiful. It looks like I would want to go on vacation here. It is sunny. There is an ocean. Looks like somebody's playing in the beach. That's what I see. This is the kind of environment that the story is going to be about, okay? So think about that. It's different than where we live, of course. Now let's listen to the story. Families have to move from their homes? Wow. The Solomon Islands is made up of hundreds of islands in the southwestern Pacific Ocean. There's our ocean that it's on. On some of these low-lying lands, low-lying, I want to see if you guys have a prediction what that could mean. That definitely has to do with our climate. What do you think low-lying means? All right, if this island is low-lying, it means it's very close to the sea. Okay? It's like one straight sea level. Okay? There is homes right on the water, and these homes are right on the beach. Okay? There's not a big gap or anything. So, on some of these low-lying islands, families had to move from their homes as well as sea level has risen. Okay, sea level, that is the actual level that the sea is. So if it's rising and going up and up and up, that's definitely a problem for homes that are built on the water like this. This has caused flooding, especially during these high tides and storms. Water supplies in some villages have also been tainted by seawater and or by lack of rain. So there's a lot going on. The sea level is rising. Families moving from their homes because of that. The water, the fresh water that they can drink that's healthy for them, is getting seawater inside of it. And there's another issue. There's no rain. Okay? Rain would be the fresh water that they're able to drink. However, if it doesn't rain, they're not able to drink. So, there's a lot going on here that has to do with climate affecting why families have to move from their homes. Okay? So my next question is going to be, all right, we are just moving through our lesson. I'm really glad you guys are still with me. I wish we were in school doing this, but hey, we are being flexible. I love it. Okay, this is a fun question I want you all to answer. And then we're going to move on to the last part of our lesson. We're almost done, I promise. I hope you can see this, but the words are very, very tiny, I know. Okay. I like this question a lot, though. This is going to be your question. How does the weather affect your daily life? Provide 2 examples of situations when weather caused you to change your plans. You know, weather, from an example for this, while you're thinking, weather actually changed my plans just this morning getting to work. I had my apartment set to a nice temperature of 70 degrees, and I felt nice and warm. I didn't really need anything. So you know what? I walked out of my apartment and started driving to work. Then I realized my car was very, very cold. So I had to turn around and go grab a long sleeve sweater. And that's what I'm wearing right now because it ended up being really chilly. So the weather, it's not summer anymore, right? It's now September, we're getting into fall, and that's some way weather just today changed my plans. So now I want you guys to answer my question. All right, guys, we are on the last part of the lesson. You got this. Let's do it. I'm going to try to keep this lesson under 20 minutes. So right now we're at 16 minutes. So let's see if we can do it. All right, so I want to show you. We are now going to write our 3 vocabulary words for the lesson, okay? These are our vocab words for the lesson for today. Okay, we have evidence, climate, and climate change. Now, there's 2 places we can find these vocab words, okay? I'm going to show you the easiest place. This is going to be in your glossary of your textbook, okay? And I want to show you guys one of these lessons how you're going to find it. But I've already done this for you today, so we're not going to do it today. But what I want you to do is you're going to find the definitions, okay? They're in here. And I'm going to show you where you're going to put them. So you are going to put them up here in your digital science, okay? So this was the other tab you have to have up. So I hope you guys all wrote your names in and decorated your covers. They look awesome. Oh my goodness. I love them. Great job, everyone who finished that. If you didn't, you still have some time. Very important note, if you are on this, I want you to make sure you notice this backspace button. This is going to be the button you press if you accidentally delete something, okay? That's why it's the second slide. It's an important one because accidents happen. All right, and this is how to save this to your bookmarks bar. It makes it very easy to get. And this is what we're going to do today, okay? So our vocab words today, I said, are evidence, climate, and climate change. Okay, so you're going to write the definitions of these 3 words followed by Your wow statement. Tell me something that you learned this lesson, okay? Something that was important. So you have your vocab words.
Good afternoon, Seneca.
And we have an announcement.
I hope you all had a wonderful day. At this time, parent pickups are dismissed, and we have our first set of buses out front. Bus numbers 127, 129, 146, and 149. The first set of buses are out front. Those are bus numbers 127, 129, 146, and 149. We hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right, so these are our definitions in the glossary that you are going to write down. You got evidence. Okay. Right to pause. Okay. Then I want you to write climate change. Maybe I want you to